Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Isaiah Hill, and still continuing with Tarantino. I'm a little bit hesitant to talk about this one because I only seen it a handful of times compared to like all of his others, but I've seen like a lot. Like I've seen them like where I can basically tell you like what goes on. This one I've seen probably once, in like 10 years. I'm not joking because I saw it when it was coming out like for like I believe it was like USA of TV, and then I never heard or saw anything of it again. But until I got this Blu-ray right here, and, and it's a Quentin Tarantino film, and this is one not many people mention. That film is part of a double feature. It's called Grindhouse. With it's Rodriguez and Tarantino, and it's Death Proof. This one is interesting. Not many people talk about this, and not many people speak highly of it. Um, Death Proof is a really, really strange film. This is a film like that you really need to sit through. Now, first of all, Now, a little history. Grindhouse was thought up by Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino as a double feature, and it will be like 4 hours long. Planet Terror being like Rodriguez's picture, and Death Proof being Tarantino's, and it will have like some commercials, like commercials in it, like to fill in. But not many people got to see Death Proof because when they were doing Grindhouse, like as you can see, it's doing like the double like feature. And if you look on the top, I always found that funny. It's a girl who has a gun for a leg. How awesome is that? But on really with Death Proof, I'll mention Planet Terror, but that's another time. The thing is with Grindhouse, like it was not that successful. It was more successful like on DVD and Blu-ray. Like unrated versions were pretty popular too, but I have not been able to find an unrated version of Death Proof. But I think I like this version more than the unrated version because I like this version because it kind of brings you back, like to how like the style was, like the really granny style, and supposedly they actually scratched the film in order to give it like the granite and like a scratchy look. And I was like, wow, they really went for it. So Death Proof stars Kurt Russell. Well, I actually gotta look at this because this is one I don't know, but I know Kurt Russell's in it. Jerry Dawson, Vanessa Ferleto, Jordan Lenz, Rose McGrones, Sydney Pointer, and Zoe Bell. Like, it's some of those names are actually very difficult to pronounce. I'm sorry I butchered them. But Zoe Bell, if you remember, I mentioned her in Kill Bill, who was Uma Thurman's stunt double. She stars as herself in this film. And she's a stunt woman, and she did her own stunts. And the thing is, what's interesting about this, they bring up the nickname Zoe the Cat, where she's notorious for landing on all fours. This Quentin Tarantino film, I have, like I said, I only seen like once, like every 10 years. And when I finally got to watch it again, like other than that gap, this one was something that I did not expect. Because this is like my brother described as a car movie. And many people would not like think that with Tarantino. But this film, I do enjoy. I find it pretty fun. This is a film that always gets the lowest. Like, so many people are like, this is the worst Tarantino film. And I can see why. Like, people will find it boring. People will find it not interesting. I mean, you gotta really go for like that drive-in feel. So that's really what this was. It was meant to be like a drive-in movie. And how it's shot, how it looks, the actors are. The actors are playing really well. Kurt Russell and Zoe Bell will later appear in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it's really cool to see Kurt Russell because I do like Kurt Russell. My favorite film of his is The Thing. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's amazing. But with Grindhouse, like here, like he is just like, he plays a villain. Like, and he is awful. Like, I hate this guy. And Kurt Russell, when he played the villain, you still kind of like him, but here I hate him. Like he gets his comeuppance. And the thing is with this film, it feels like I like the film because I like how directors do like different things, different styles, different feels, all sorts of things, and it works. I think this film is it gets a reputation that it doesn't deserve, in my opinion. I mean, this is my opinion probably going to be the only Tarantino film that doesn't get an amazing. The main reason why is because it's great. It's great. There's like I felt like there should have been like more like with like a Kurt Russell's character because I wanted to find out more about him. But I just personally didn't think it was that interesting for that time. But then when I gave it like a rewatch, I was like, oh, it's actually pretty good. Now, the first time I saw it, that was my opinion, was just great. But then I watched it again, I'm like, oh, now I get it. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I was more invested this time. And I was like, you know what? I was too hard on this film. So I gave it another watching. And it was just Death Proof, not Planet Terror. Planet Terror is really good. Like, I do recommend that one. And when I watched it again, I was so baffled, like, by how it looks. And I'm like, you know what? It's great. I mean, some things do bug me, like, a little bit more. But it is so close to being an amazing. And it is, like, I bet if I give it a rewatching, it would get an amazing. But the thing is, it's like one of those films I constantly keep watching to, like, get it. Like, yeah, I'll watch it again to know, like, what's going on. Many were like, oh, well, you did. Like, some people just flat out defend this film, and I'm glad. I like when people defend films because it shows, like, there is an audience. Grindhouse has an audience. Like, even though it didn't do well at box office, Tarantino and Rodriguez had spoken that they are more than willing to do a sequel of this. And I wouldn't mind. I would actually go see it. But with Death Proof, I think because, like, Death Proof came out, like, in what was it, like, 2007? Grindhouse, like, in general did. I was just 7 years old, and I was already into Kill Bill, like, and all that stuff. But what I didn't really want to explore Tarantino so much until I was about, like, 13. Like, Pulp Fiction, I didn't watch until I was 13 years old. It was mainly Kill Bill. That was all I knew. This film right here, I feel like so many people give it a lot more hate. I feel like people think that it's just, they label it because, like, it's not standard Tarantino. Oh, there's not all this shootout. There's not this. There's not that. I like horror movies. This film did a great job. But the main reason why I gave it a grade the first time I watched it was because, honestly, because it was unfair to say, because when I was watching the film, it was late. It was so late at night when I first watched this, and I fell asleep. And I was so aggravated because they never showed it again on TV. And I was like, oh, man, I'm never going to get to see this again. But then, like, when I was, like, going through Amazon because I wanted to get Tarantino, because Tarantino was someone I was always interested in getting, I saw this and it was really cheap. I'm like, you know what? Now I'm going to check it out. And I watched it again, and I remember I got to the part, like, where I fell asleep, but then it was just nothing. I knew nothing of the film. Like, I do not do research on films. If I'm interested in a film, I do not watch trailers because I feel like that kind of ruins it, because some trailers right now do ruin films. But, like, Grindhouse, like, I haven't heard anything about. Like, it was not even, like, really, I don't even think they advertised it as much. I mean, I was just 7 years old, so I don't quite remember. But the thing is, when Death Proof hit the scene, so many people were so quick to say it's the worst Tarantino film. Even today, like, when I went to go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and even though that was, like, almost 2 months ago, there were people who said this is the worst Tarantino movie. And I was like, wow, like, all those films, and you label this one. I like it. I mean, I bet if I do rewatch it, it'll get amazing. But the main reason why I give it a great, I mean, it's in between. It's like one of those films. It's so close to being an amazing, but I wish they had a little bit more. And that's just my opinion. To you guys, it could probably be the greatest movie ever, but it's just my opinion. Like, and yes, unfortunately, it will be like a number 9, but that doesn't mean I hate it. It's just how I rank them. But I do recommend this for people who are interested in Quentin Tarantino or Grindhouse in general, or if you're into this kind of style. It's really unique and I like it. This is a film I can watch again. It's just something I can't rewatch over and over again. I mean, amazing films I can just rewatch all the time. Grindhouse, well, other than the 4-hour part, I can care less about that. It was mainly the fact how, like, after Planet Terror, like, to me, it was like you were exhausted. You just got so excited. You were so amped up. And then when you get to Death Proof, it's like, whoa, okay, now we're just getting more. And these films have been released separately. And they have like a thing called missing reels, and it's kind of like a throwback joke. Because sometimes you'll get like where someone will pop up and say like missing reel. And Tarantino is known for not wanting to do any films that are digital. He is notorious for that. He has like his own cinema, I believe, and the next film we're going to talk about is going to be a lot of fun about that. This film I do give a grade. I don't hate the film. I don't discourage it. I kind of do wish there was a little bit more with characters. But the thing is, I can see where people can say, "Oh, it's okay." Pulp Fiction, I love Pulp Fiction, but the main reason why I love Pulp Fiction was because I felt like the characters, them being secretive, made it better. Here, like how they're just being like where they're going over like their lives, like in one scene. I liked it because it was just like friends getting together and having a cup of coffee. But the unrated version, I only seen one time, and the thing is, I like the unrated version, but I like this more. It's okay. Everyone has different opinions, and I think that this film did a great job. I'm sorry if you guys are expecting an amazing, because I've been going on like an amazing list, but Grindhouse and Death Proof and Grindhouse as a whole does not deserve like how people put it down. These are 2 films I do recommend. It's so hard to like say that it's great. I find so many things enjoyable with it, but I wish there were some more, like with characters, a little bit more about the car, because I love the car. Just look at the car. That is so cool. And like, I just enjoy it, but I do enjoy it. I can see where people would say, oh yeah, this is an amazing movie. I personally see it as a great, but I do recommend it. I recommend pretty much almost all Tarantino's films. I will get to the one I probably would not recommend for like people like who are sensitive, but overall, like, Tarantino is known for like graphic violence. So if you're like really scared, then if you're like afraid of blood, then I don't see why you're watching something like that grotesque. Like a lot of people get freaked out, like the Django scene especially. And the main reason why I can say Django scenes because like it was all over YouTube. It was so big. Grindhouse and Death Proof, great films. Both of them are great, and that's their title. This is probably my second grade, I believe. I really, if I bet you, if I do rewatch it, it would get amazing. But you never know. So, I believe like this film, people should watch. I don't think it deserves like to get like a horrible. It does not deserve that. It doesn't deserve a bad, and it surely doesn't deserve a good. It deserves a great or an amazing. Most Tarantino films do deserve that. Like Jackie Brown's an example, like where many were like, "Oh yeah, it's great. It's probably the worst one." But then like Death Proof, Jackie Brown, I heard nothing but negative things about. I'm like, what's wrong with Jackie Brown? What's wrong with like all these films? Like and I like seeing it to believe it. I believe Death Proof will be entertaining to a lot of people. Grindhouse will be entertaining. It's surely entertaining to me, and I love it. But I have to give it a grade, and that doesn't mean I hate the film. And I do love these films, and they are quite enjoyable. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Isaiah Hill. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you wish to see more reviews like this, or my Let's Plays, which are going to be coming up soon. Back to the Future is almost done, and I'm so happy about it. Believe I got like 12 more videos to put up, like not counting the one I just put up today. Well, actually counting the one I did put up today. I'm sorry about that. And if you want to ask me anything or request anything, comment down below, and I'll be sure to check it out. Grindhouse, I believe many should check out. I mean, it's obviously not for everyone, and if you are into these types of movies, into double features, go ahead. And if you like Quentin Tarantino, I think that you will find something to like about Death Proof. My name is Isaiah Hill. Thank you guys so much for watching. Signing off.